Hi, welcome back to All's Fair and Toys, Pop Culture, and Movies. Does anybody remember the Ben Cooper costumes from the 60s, 70s, and 80s? I got a package here that just arrived from NECA that kind of brings us back to the day of the old costumes from Ben Cooper. This is Series 7. I'm super excited to open it, so I thought I would do that on camera here, do the best I can. I do have a few waves of these. I got the DC Superhero Wave, which is very cool. And I wonder if Ben Cooper's going to get some more licenses. I had a Spider-Man Ben Cooper. That's the one I remember back in probably the early 80s. And that one was cool. They'd have to get the Marvel license, obviously. I think they did Star Wars, too, which would be great. So let's take a look at these. This feels like a very monster-heavy wave from... I know a lot of these aren't from the 70s, but it feels very 70s to me. So we have Jaws. Just in time for the 50th anniversary of Jaws, if anybody has been keeping score on that. The packaging design is really excellent. And I think they've got... a little girl wearing this one, so that's kind of fun. You know, I don't know what kids back then were, you know, doing the Jaws, but she's got a little bucket. I don't know if you could see that for the trick-or-treating candy. It looks very very beachy, like kind of a beach pail. So that goes with it. So we're gonna set her down here for now, and we've got the fly. Ooh, the fly looks great, actually. You know what's really impressive, too, is these packaging, how they capture it from the way the costumes were in there, in those little, in the window. You could see the mask, and then the vinyl suit was kind of tucked behind it, but that mask really drew you in, and that's how you knew you wanted to dress up. Now, I'm not sure if this is the fly from the 80s movie, because the pail definitely has that Jeff Goldblum 80s vibe, but you know, I know there was a 1958 version of the fly, so I'm not 100% sure which version this is, but it is pretty cool. So we're gonna set the fly here, and next we're gonna go to, now this is the one, I hope my wife doesn't mind me mentioning, this is the one she was excited about the most. This is the Planet of the Apes. Looks like it's from the TV show, if anybody remembers that, from the 70s. Maybe not the movies, but definitely I know the TV show was big. A lot of merchandise came out back then. If you want to get a look at the packaging, which pretty much mimics the way the Planet of the Apes Ben Cooper costume looked back then. Yeah, very cool. A lot of the Ben Cooper, as you, which is always kind of funny, they always put the picture of the character on the costume and a little bit of font, you know, wording to let you know, oh, this is where it's from, which always cracks me up. But in this case, I think people got it. I think they know that's Planet of the Apes. Got the little sword rocket in there. Very cool. Like I said, these are very monster heavy. And speaking of monsters, who's the king of the monsters? That is Godzilla. Looking pretty cool. I don't know if the mask does Godzilla justice. Maybe this one needed the shirt to say Godzilla with the actual character. I don't know if somebody's just wearing the mask, if they know exactly what they were. It kind of looks like Reptile Man, but it's still cool. Obviously an ode back to the actual costumes that were then. So, you know, you really can't complain as long as they get the aesthetic of these costumes right. So this Godzilla and King Kong, I don't know if they did a King Kong, but definitely the heavy hitters, definitely amazing, one of my favorites. And last but not least, so Tarman, Return of the Living Dead. I'll admit I never saw the movie, so I had to look up, because I knew, you know, a little bit about which characters they were going to show, and apparently this was the first zombie to declare that brains was the food of choice for the zombies. That's where the "I need brains" comes from. So, and you see he's got his little brain bucket there. I don't know if that came with the costume. I don't even know if you could get a brain bucket back then, but still a great inclusion. So yeah, what do you think about these. Again, did you have the Ben Cooper costumes? I haven't researched if these were, all of these were licensed back then, but, you know, nonetheless, they definitely capture that spirit. Hopefully they'll get like Marvel licensing, Star Wars licensing. I'm a big fan of these, are you? I wish they'd continue with these, but very happy overall. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Like and subscribe, comment in the channel, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.